How's it going, everybody? I'm going to try to make this quick, but we all know I can be wordy when the brain starts going. Um, Day two of Cisco Live for me is in the books. Today is Sunday, and this morning I had a 4-hour technical seminar on CCISP NSO basic automation. And when the session got started, it was a discussion on how NSO works, architecture and stuff like that, principles of automation and things like that. So it was really, really good. The We took a break about halfway, and then the speakers started jumping into a NSO demonstration. So they walked us through a couple of different use cases and things like that, and it was really helpful. And so I was able to ask some questions and stuff like that. It's not a recorded seminar by Cisco, but I did record about an hour on my phone as they were going through it so that I could refer back to it later because there's a lot of information, and I got the slide deck. So part of my service provider preparation is to incorporate NSO to a certain extent with the automation exam. And the service provider exam has about 20% of it is automation. So what that's actually going to look like has yet to be seen because I haven't sat for it yet. So, but I did get a chance to speak at length with the service provider program manager. His name is Mohammed, a really, really nice guy. We had a really in-depth conversation about the exam and stuff like that. And so my plans are still on track. I still plan on taking the SP exam at some point in the future. But right now, my current flow is to write the CCNP Service Provider workbook and incorporate NSO into that to see exactly what that's going to look like. And so I don't know exactly how it's going to look yet because I've never actually gotten NSO up and running. It does run on Linux, so I'm going to have to deploy a virtual machine at home and get NSO running and then integrate it with a lab. But if you were to take the, let's say, 80% of the workbook is going to be actual CLI commands that you're going to type into the devices. And then the other 20% or so would be automation techniques and NSO and how NSO is a way for you to deploy services and capabilities through a central orchestration engine. So it's actually a pretty cool platform now that I've gotten to see how it works and stuff like that. So so after that, I left and I saw a couple of people that I knew and said what's up to them, but then I left the convention center and I was out, on personal time, hanging out with the wife and exploring San Diego and stuff like that. So tomorrow is the first official day of live, and I have a couple of sessions. I have a Cisco Catalyst session on scaling Catalyst switches, a design session, and then I have the CCDE practical practice exam. So whether I pass the DE or not, that was going to be a session I wanted to sit through because I know a couple of people that run it. I know Zig Zigga. I've known him for a long time. He's been a friend of mine for a long time. So there's that. For those of you that didn't know, I did fail the CCDE. I did some math on it, and I think I got about a 40 or so percent. So I didn't do terrible, but I do know some areas that I definitely need to spend some more time in. And that's the whole purpose of taking these exams. You see exactly how you're going to do, how you answer the questions, stuff like that. So it was a learning experience for me. I will say that I've mentioned this a few times to some people that I was a bit surprised at how not technically deep the DE was. I was expecting it to be much more technical. I don't know why, but I was. But that's okay. So, and like I said, I had a misconception about large scale networking, thinking it was going to be mostly service provider, and it really wasn't. It was some service provider, some IPv6, some wireless and stuff like that. And when you think about it, that makes sense. So tomorrow, my plan is to get to live. I'm going to try to get there early and get my CCIE ribbon, my badge, and all that stuff. I am going to try to hit up some areas, but my goal is after my first session and before my technical seminar in the afternoon, I'm going to hang out at the certification lounge for at least a little while and do a little bit of meet and greet. I have the clickers, and actually I'll grab one real quick for you. So I have a bag of clickers that my wife made, and they all have a mechanical mechanical keyboard switch inside of them. So if you see me at live, they do make noise. They do click. They are 3D printed, in case you were curious. I have a bag of them. So if you are live and you want one, and you see me, say, "Hey, Rob," say hi, and I will dig in my bag and I will give you one. So they don't cost anything, but it's more of a swag thing to give away, and it's kind of a cool little fidget, if you will. So that's what's going to be there. So my plan, I did post on LinkedIn and Twitter, or I should say X, where I'm going to be hanging out and stuff like that. I'm going to try my best to hang out in the certification lounge and the world of solutions as much as I can, but I'm here to try to learn some stuff. I do know that all of the technical breakout sessions that I want to attend are going to be recorded, so I can always go back and watch them if I want to, and take notes and things like that. So my goal now is to enjoy as much of live as I can, and all that good stuff. I will be going to the CCA party on Tuesday, and planning on going to the concert on Wednesday. So stuff like that. So if you see me around, don't be afraid to stop me, say hi, stuff like that. I'll be walking around. I'll have my backpack on me, stuff like that. Don't hesitate. If you see me talking to somebody else, still walk up, say hi. There's quite a few people that have posted online comments that I've made that they'd like to see me, like meet me, all that good stuff. If you see me, say something. Even if it's just a hey, dude, whatever. It's nice to finally meet you in person. Something as simple as that. That's cool too. Anyway, I'm gonna try to keep, like I said, I'm gonna try to keep this short. If you see me around live, stop me, say hi, and I will catch all of you in the next one.